Mr. METOKUR, White Knights for Flamenco the pedo. Last time we went over Jim leaving the internet for 2 days when Flamenco was exposed. Now the Jimsel said that this was a coincidence. Only a naive person believes this. Since Jim has come back, he has made 25 tweets in less than 2 days. He has tweeted over 12 times a day for the past few months. Jim has no job, no kids, no friends, and he lives on the internet. His obscene was solely due to him trying to run out the clock hoping everyone forget about Flamenco. This is a cover-up. He had time to watch the Kino Casino, but not time to talk about it. If it had anything to do with Ralph, he would have made 100 tweets, if not more. He would have made a stream about it. Jim is sweeping it up for pedos, which isn't surprising if you know the lore. The same way he played defense for Tucson Data, he is now playing defense for Flamenco. Jim is a white knight. Jim says here that you can't notice him leaving the internet the night his capo was exposed. Now if this was being sogged on, Jim would say that this was a cover-up. Mr. Mop-It-Up is a fence-sitter. He waited 2 days to see what the popular opinion is to choose his position. He has done this many times. The internet aristocrat is the Tim Pool of this sector of the internet. He doesn't take a position until he knows he can follow them all. Jim needs to follow the opinion of his hub box. Notice how he ignores the guy who was white knighting for was exposed as a pedo. Instead he talks about Rolf, deflection, and sweeping it up as the janitor Jim playbook. After this too, we get 9 tweets talking about Nick and Ralph. Mr. Mop-It-Up is trying to suppress his capo was exposed as a pedo. Then we get the white knighting once he is confronted. He had to finally address the issue and for tweets 2 of them deflecting. So Flamenco will grips off Jim and who Jim has promoted and white knighting for is exposed as a pedo. What does Jim do? He has a single tweet explaining what happened in a dishonest way. He is being purposely vague in order to defend Flamenco, giving the entire situation a few sentences of coverage. Now let's see what Jim tweeted about Flamenco as of late. We have the first 2 tweets, which are deflections. Instead of talking about Flamenco, he talks about CcgFB. Jim has white knighted for Flamenco to the point where he was giving him money on live streams. Here is a super chat Jim made to Flamenco's channel after he was doxxed. Acting like his father. Jim says he has no internet friends, but he sure treats Flamenco in a very friendly way. This is METOKUR shielding Flamenco from trolling. CcgFB just hosts Flamenco. Jim promotes Flamenco. Everyone knows Jim White Knights for Flamenco. This isn't just guilt by association. Jim is the only reason Flamenco has any relevance. Flam is a Jim fanboy who has been endorsed by his internet father. Even if they did ban Flamenco from CcgFB, Jim would be tweeting about how that was horrible censorship. His tweets are him deflecting from the fact Flam was exposed. Now here we get the final to full-throated defense as a fake Ninko by Janitor Jim. When Jim describes the situation, he is being utterly dishonest. Flamenco was a part of 6 Steam groups. One of them had only 9 members, and its height it had around 15. So a small obscure 15-member Steam group with a German name in his profile image. Now what does this name and picture refer to? The name and picture belong to a German author who wrote a book about a child who was abused. Flamenco was not just in a random German group. At the time Flamenco was exposed, there were 9 members in a Steam group. Many of those members were in other Steam groups that were explicitly pedo and they admitted to being pedos. The owner of the group is a Steam user called Sanctus, and Flamenco was friends with Sanctus on Steam. Sanctus' profile picture is a child and he has them posted on his profile page. Here's a comment on Sanctus' Steam profile page. These are comments on the profiles of some of the other members of this Steam group. This group had 9 to 15 people in it, yet nearly all of them were pedos. Flamenco just happened to accidentally find his way into this group. A bit more damning than what Jim said. This is a cover-up. The Jimspiracy theory.